Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Live Inspired podcast with John O'Leary Monday Morning Moments. Let's kick it off. 2 years ago, Beth and I anxiously dropped off our oldest son, Jack, for his first year at college. The school Jack chose, it's called Indiana University, is renowned for its strong business school, a gorgeous campus, and a long heritage of winning basketball. What it was not known for, however, was its football program. So it's fair to say our astonishment is real that the most losing program in college football history is chasing its first ever national championship tonight, just 18 months later. It's an incredible turn of events. As unlikely as that story is, the story of their quarterback makes this story even more remarkable. Let me tell you about it. In a culture that endlessly celebrates celebrities for their flash, their bravado, their outrageous actions, we've grown accustomed to mistaking noise for significance. We are quick to elevate athletes, entertainers, public figures, not for the substance of who they are, but for how loudly they promote themselves to others. And then there's Fernando Mendoza, a young man who does not fit the mold so often celebrated by the media and the sports culture. He doesn't lead with ego. He doesn't speak for recognition. He doesn't seek the spotlight. He confidently shares his faith. He celebrates his family. He exudes joy. He speaks about gratitude and responsibility far more than he talks about greatness and recognition. And he doesn't measure success by his headlines, his highlights, or even his Heisman Trophy. Instead, Fernando leads by putting others first. In a particularly moving speech while accepting the Heisman Trophy just several weeks ago, Fernando thanked his hero, his mom, for her example. Battling multiple sclerosis, she sat in her wheelchair, wiping tears, as Fernando, her son, went on to share, "Mommy, you taught me toughness does not need to be loud. It can be quiet and strong. It's choosing hope. It's believing in yourself when the world doesn't give you much reason to." I'm going to say that again. Toughness doesn't need to be loud. It can be quiet and strong. It's choosing hope and believing in yourself when the world doesn't give you much reason to. My friends, that's powerful. Tonight, millions and millions will be tuning in to some football game to see whether the Indiana Hoosiers can do the impossible in undefeated season and beat the Miami Hurricanes for the national championship. Most will watch for the score or the spectacle or the history or maybe even the commercials. I'll be watching for something very different. I'll be watching a young man remind us that the greatest victories aren't always the ones on the scoreboard, regardless who wins. They're the ones quietly modeled in how we love our families, how we serve our teammates, how we honor our faith, and how we use our platform to elevate others. Win or lose tonight, Fernando Mendoza has already accomplished something far rarer than some national championship. Friends, he's shown us what real masculinity and what real success looks like in action. And in a world starving for examples of selflessness, of integrity, and of quiet courage, that may be the most important victory of all. My friends, I want to thank you for tuning into the Live Inspired podcast community here with John O'Leary. I want to remind you that your life is important, that the headwind we face may be real, but the best is yet to come. So for this time and until next time, two things. One, live with your soul on fire. And secondly, go Hoosiers.